So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when you give me an entire day's worth of free time, nothing to spend it on, and one thing I would like to accomplish before it takes too long. So, quadruple upload, because I have literally nothing to do today. Everyone that I would talk to is away for the weekend, basically. Yeah, it's great. It's great in some ways, and it's also incredibly boring in others. Uh, Excuse me. Alright, well, Discord's blowing up again. Bunch of Fusion Fall jokes going around. Just almost fitting. Problem is, I've probably worn on my commentary doing the last 3 episodes of this of Universe Zero, so there's probably not going to be as high quality as it was a few hours ago. My coat! I'm pressing right on the D-pad, and that's making the headlights turn on and off. Okay, that's funny. So I have a couple of predictions for this championship. I believe Vert might have the worst overall vehicle. And the best ones are Burn and that. And the Powerpuffs. Just see the extenuation of that, because that and 2 of the Powerpuff Girls are really close to each other. So let's actually start the first race here. Ironic that her sisters are on the front row, but Buttercup starts in dead last. Let's focus on Alex. The star, since he just came off the Act 19 win, he might be on a high right now. And right now, Shadow's even ahead of that. I should really put Discord down. That would not be a bad idea, but it's kind of taken away from the commentary. But at the same time, not all that much is happening. And it's just a procession, it's not a race at this point. Shadow, Bubbles, and Blossom are just running away with it, and no one cares to try and deny that at all. Well, Burn might. Okay, Buttercup's already gained 7 places in 1 lap. That's interesting, to say the least. And, well, one newcomer is doing really well for themselves, and the other one is in dead last. If I can type properly. As weird as it actually seemed, it also seems like sometimes the races in street cars are actually less interesting. Because as soon as the dominant cars get to the front, that's just kind of how it is. And if they start up there, it gets even worse. And then you can also get away with more in race cars, so the AI do crazier stuff. They don't even try that in these cars. Burn has caught up to Shadow, and that might actually be interesting for about 30 seconds. As soon as it goes to the straightaway, though, I think Burn's probably going to put that to bed. Okay, maybe not this one. But the front straightaway, most likely he will terminate this. Ooh, or now. Okay. You're gonna learn the hard way, I guess, Shadow. Like you're not used to a little bit of punishment. Burn with the return to form, I suppose, getting really pushy and aggressive with his opponents. Well, that looks pathetic. Yeah, it might not be a great sign when I'm finding Discord more interesting than the race. It's not like things aren't happening. People are getting past. We have Buttercup who ran through the field in 4 laps and gained 9 places in a time span. I think he will, yeah, she will get past Carbon here. Byrne ran his way from 10th to 3rd in the same amount of time. A couple of the big movers. Vert actually went up a place, despite me saying he had a really bad car. Shadow's done quite well in his effective debut here. Despite being roughed up by Byrne, he survived and comes in 4th. Buttercup definitely a driver of the race here. Not a biased opinion, it's just the way that it is. Byrne had a ridiculous lap time though, that's kind of scary. There is no regular Gallardo, or even like a Murcielago or a Diablo that he can use, which would be much better, but those aren't in the game, so we kind of can't. There's a Diablo in P-Cars, Project Cars 2, you'll probably hear me refer to it as P-Cars a lot, or PC2 as well. Shorter names for it, because Project Cars 2, saying that every time, will eventually get a kind of annoying. Anyways, on to Laguna Seca. Seca, I don't know. Looking, it's become just a general Cartoon Network conversation, and someone questions, also, why are you Sis and Muriel? The ride for food must be terrible for them, because I gotta drive through such a long distance just to even get to a town. Now that I've found this out, I'm never gonna stop doing it. Alright, on to the race. I should probably just put my tablet down at this point. Well, let's see if Danny is really that good at Laguna Seca. Can he hold off possibly the best car in the grid for 6 laps? In what is also probably the 3rd worst car in the grid, besides XT3 and Vert. Or will we even get to turn 1 in the lead? He will not. Goodbye, Byrne. Well, you've won. I would almost think about putting Snap on course, but I don't even think that'll save us, unless Bubbles pulls something out of nowhere. Bubbles, you're our only hope. Please go and catch that crazy alien. Make him fear you again. Well, again, we haven't really established what it is that Burn feels towards them. Is it fear, respect, partnership? Sort of mixture of the three. It's never really said. Burn isn't exactly the most open individual when it comes to his Terra-based relationships. Well, Bubbles is just about keeping up with him. Closer than anybody else is, at least, that's for sure. Let's see where her sisters are getting along. Buttercup's in 13th. Just kidding, Buttercup's in 9th. And the starting grid doesn't stop screwing her over. She's going to be scary. Because figure 2, she won her last appearance in Act 18. I think. I don't know, you see, sometimes I do championships on my own time, or I have a couple of buddies that watch these too, but I do different characters from the Hot Wheels ones. But, like, I know for a fact that the last one of those that I did, Buttercup won. XC3 is very obstructive. The Powerpuff Girls are not really the biggest fan of robots. I mean, they're smart enough to know which ones are helpful and which ones aren't. So there is that. But as far as like any kind of rivalry, Buttercup especially might be a little bit on edge. And here she goes now for the maneuver. I think she will just about make that work. Indeed, Danny is hanging on to 3rd. Bubbles is slowly losing sight of Burn, but you know, it's not the end of the world. This isn't undoable. Like, if Burn starts in front, yeah, we're screwed. But if he doesn't, there are definitely cars here that can put a challenge up. But the fact this thing has so much raw power and doesn't have the drawback of terrible handling like many other cars do generally, it's pretty hard to compete. As Carbon is going on an adventure over there, and Buttercup will immediately take advantage of that. Performance deficit isn't terrible. Not here, anyway. I want to say it's that the McLaren might have better handling than the Gallardo. The thing has so much more power. It's the 123. Oh. Okay. The other way around, maybe? Well, actually, let's see what other comparison. An Act 1 car of Danny's Super will hit I think that was 119. Okay, so 123 is not that interesting. Okay, Blossom. Yeah, okay, Blossom. Actually, do that. That is the problem, driver. We need to beat up Carbon. He's come back. He's not through after we shoved him off in Act 11 and 10. In that order. We need to show him, for real this time, that he's not going to... It's not going to work. Just refuse him. There's a reference. Danny is not being passed. I am blind. Buttercup has passed that and is now looking at Shadow. I had plenty of considerations for other Sonic characters too. Of course, Sonic, I could make a championship of Sonic characters in their own right. There's enough interesting characters in that category. But I just figure, as far as playable appearances, the only one that even holds a candle to Shadow is Tails. Let's see, Shadow had Adventure 2, speaking of which, it's been passed, Adventure 2, Heroes, Battle, Sonic Battle, Sonic 06, and Forces. Tails had, well, I didn't actually play the 2D games, but I guess it was playable in 2 and 3. Adventure 1, Adventure 2, Heroes, Battle 06, and that's it. So 5 to 7. But Tails is older than Shadow is. So, with that in mind, it's not the most fair comparison. I bet you Shadow had been a character since 1992, not 2001. I guarantee you Shadow would have had as many, if not more, playable appearances. Not to mention, I forgot, Shadow the Hedgehog. He had his own game. Tails didn't get that. Even if it wasn't a great game, necessarily, he still had the game. So he's either more lucrative or just more popular than Tails, which wouldn't surprise me. Even though personally my two favorite characters are just Sonic and Eggman, because I'm boring that way. Shadow is third. No, not. Okay, it really depends on the game and which character is playing them. I really like Sonic Adventure 2 Shadow a lot. Sonic, I always prefer the modern one. Like, from Generations onward. I don't remember his voice. I don't remember many of their voices, or voice actors' names. Best Tails, honestly, unpopular opinion, his 4Kids actor is pretty accurate. Just as far as like how I think of the character acting, and then what, like, who best does that character, because I don't know. Adventure 1 Tails just didn't sound like a nerd. Didn't fit the archetype of what Tails is very well. Anyway, albeit not by much, Byrne wins here at Laguna Seca. Danny defends valiantly, albeit from weaker opponents with less power than his car has. But he's still proven to be formidable at Laguna Seca. Powerpuff Girls share the podium, second and third. Blossom could not capitalize. She won the first race. And she couldn't finish that off here. Now we have Spa. Yeah, so generally my favorite characters are Eggman and Knuckles. Because I'm definitely one of those root for the villain type guys, and that is not popular in its own right, but my thought is generally villains have either the comic relief, like the Joker or Dr. Doofenshmirtz, for example. They have more, you know, two-dimensional, three-dimensional backstories to them. They have, like, actual development. And then on top of that, sometimes the villain even has, like, kind of like a heart of gold, and they have, like, non-nefarious plans. There have been times where Eggman has actually saved the world just as much as he wants to take it over or destroy it. Adventure 2, for example. Of course, if it's a villain like Dr. Wily or Bowser who have very straightforward goals of, like, Dr. Wily is, screw you, Dr. Light, I win. Or Bowser is, your princess is mine, and soon Mushroom Kingdom will also be. But then again, no Mario character really has a large amount of personality. Like, I don't think any of them do. And that's kind of like the main thing why I do not like the Mario games as much as everyone else and their mom seems to like them, because now the games are well made, but they're literally just a platformer. There's nothing else to them. All the Sonic characters have unique personalities, and the better ones have good gameplay. And they try different things with each game. Different mechanics, different locations, whereas Mario always has the same few power-ups, same few characters, and each of those characters have the same personality. And then look at other platformers. Crash is a bumbling idiot, and everyone loves him for that. And Cortex is another good example of one of those villains that I would totally root for as a hero, because they do have something of personality. No, it's not great, but at least they have comic relief. And he varies his plans from game to game. Even if they are the same end goal, he does have different plans laid out to accomplish them. Bowser, literally his plan every time is kidnap Princess, claim Mushroom Kingdom. Ta-da! You'd think after 30-some years you would realize that that's not going to work, right? Guess not. Mojo Jojo is another good example. He has tons of comic relief, he has his own personality, even more arguably than the girls themselves have. I mean, between the weird sub-Japanese accent, the fact that he's actually, well, a monkey, but that's not special. Bowser's a giant turtle. That's not really that unique. Burn hasn't had the best start. At all. And he doesn't eat bubbles in front of him. That is the last thing he wants. And therefore she won't be, because she just about spun out, I think. Well, it looked like it out of the corner of the screen, but she didn't. Okay, Carbon is leading. This is something we can't really have. And Captain Falcon is way offline. What are you doing out there? Do you need directions? Are you trying to find Newt City? Because it's not here. This time I'm actually a factor in the race. Last races I've done basically nothing. How in the name of God is Blossom already in 7th? She started 14th. I gotta see this with my own eyes. In fast motion. But how did she get... 1. Great. Ah! Cars! Alright, that's 2 places. That's up to 12. Bubbles and Danny had terrible starts. What in the heck? Okay, battling for 10th, or battling for 9th, I think. Doesn't quite get 9th. Doesn't quite get it. Now she gets it. Gets Sonic. Gets number 1. I think. Yep, gets number 1. And now I think we're here. She's behind Alex and in front of number 1, I think. So he really gained 7 places in like 10 corners. Either I made a big mistake putting this car in, or the Powerpuff Girls are on top of their game. Which, it could really be either one. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's just the car. Because realistically that is what it is that the car is fast. Okay, Blossom, okay. Look here, sweetheart. You can go around roughing up the robots and the aliens and Detestable humans, but can you get off of me? I don't care if you're playing around. Get off my bumper. I haven't scored yet. It's for you to play around. That's not you. That's Bubbles. Number 1, I didn't realize. I thought his V6 Cup was better than that, but I guess that Exceed is not really doing that good. Clearly. Alright, well. Carbon is now under threat from Buttercup. And she's got a score to settle for sure. Well, with the whole henchman sent to your doom thing, you see where that went. With the additional power. Let me give it a minute. Or more than that. Well, Shadow looked promising. No, he is not so much. Very, very red group of cars up there between XC3, Alex, and Blossom. Well, Burn just yoinked to my place immediately. You know, I really thought number 1, like, there's no real excuse for this, for his driving. It's the car. Yeah, there's no other reason, obviously, but I'm just gonna act like there is. There's no excuse for this number 1. He started in 4th, how are you already in 12th? Buttercup has now claimed the lead from Carbon. Can anyone else follow suit, though? They fought for a pretty long while. That's definitely helped XT3 and Alex and Blossom get near them, but Blossom has a couple of places to claim before she can help her sister challenge Carbon. Although, I don't think she needs the help, by the looks of that. XC3 is basically just an obstacle for Alex at this point in time. Captain Falcon is just dropped like a rock. Burn is staring at those back fenders. Oh my god. And Bubbles, well, now, yeah, now she'll pass me and probably Sonic in the same maneuver. Captain Falcon, like, just completely denies Bubbles anything there. Oh my god, Buttercup is in the next dimension. Jesus. Alex was passed by Blossom, and now so is XT3. She should have the time and capability to catch Carbon for another race, considering he's, like, right there. Well, Burn proved to be an obstacle. These two, this classic rivalry, which also didn't last very long. These 4, I don't know what the heck is going on with them. Now I am suddenly rather interested and also scared for the monster races. If these 4 have so much more power than everyone else, that's not usually good. It's kind of a strange accidental fact. Is that, these McLaren 570Ss, they're also in Rocket League. I don't remember when they were, I don't know when they were added. But I played with a couple of friends of mine the other day, and much to my shock, they had this car on there. It really shouldn't be much of a shock to me, though, because in the Rocket League as well, there is the Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler, or Jurassic World more specifically, and there goes Blossom. How are you? In second place now, I guess, how you are. Not really much Carbon could even try to do about it. Yeah, you can get alongside her, but she has more speed. And your argument is now invalid. You are now in third. And there's also a very angry inhabitant of Jupiter that is now right up your exhaust tips. Alex has passed XT3. XT3 is dropping like a rock. Sonic is actually gaining many places. Much to Bubbles' inconvenience, not disappointment rather. Because this basically means that he's just in her way. And there she goes around XT3. Shadow's gained a couple places. He's into 13th now, but I think he's reached his cap. Carbon attempts to hang on. It does not work. Now Alex is next. Ooh, that's not the best place to do that, Sonic. And this race is, there's not really much more to it at this point. The only two matters if there are, can Alex pass Carbon, and can Bubbles pass Sonic? I don't think Alex will be able to get around Carbon in the available time. Oh, never mind, he's got a run on him. Uses the outside, which will put him on the inside here. He needs to get this corner right, though. And there he goes. So rather familiar looking podium. Alex managed to maneuver his way to a 4th place. Ignore what that says. Bubbles almost took 6th and probably taken 5th if there were another lap in the race, but these laps are 2 minutes and 40 seconds long. I don't think we need that. That's why it's only 4 laps, even though these are the fastest street cars you can possibly use. Unless you go completely extreme, and then by that point it's just an unbalanced mess. So Burn is your points leader, but all 3 of the Powerpuff Girls are directly in tow. And Carbon has half of Bubbles' points, and me at number 1 are the only ones who haven't scored yet. That's kind of upsetting. However, that is all for this episode, and also all for today. I'm definitely not recording another episode, because my throat is now beginning to become sore. I need to eat something, and all that other stuff. I recorded 4 episodes, I don't think I need to put out any more today. I don't have that much free time, it is now also 12:30, so you know, that's all that goes. It's happened when you spend you know, 3 hours out of the day recording yourself watching AI drive around. But yeah, next time we will have Brands Hatch, Red Bull Ring, and Classic Silverstone.